Hello, Meeples. Welcome to episode 51, take 2, Tiny Epic Giveaways. I didn't get too far in before the engineer figured out I wasn't recording, so that's why I keep him around for. And so I don't look like Inspector Gadget when the fan's moving around my head. It's easier with a co-host. So, this is Tiny Epic Giveaways because we are talking about the Tiny Epic games. It is a tiny podcast. I'm going to see if I can do this in about 15 minutes. And it is Epic Giveaways because I have 10 giveaways. Yay! So, you can find me as Engineers Falcon on Instagram, Ravelry, and Periscope. So, yes. Now, let me tell you real quick. Right now, if you look for Engineers Falcon, you may find Bluebonnet Fibers Engineers Falcon and Asedai, Asedai Engineers Falcon. Those are both me. 2 different Twitter accounts. I have no idea how I activated them both that day. I have Twitter on my phone, and so I guess I was logged in as Bluebonnet Fibers on my iPad. I've got 2 accounts. You are welcome to subscribe to both of them.
The Bluebonnet Fibers one is the one you did Periscope from.
Yes, that's what I Periscoped from. Yeah. You didn't know about the Periscope. Don't worry, you didn't miss it.
It's called a trial run.
Yeah, I might put it up on YouTube. It was pretty silly. So if I do, I will publicize that so you can go and laugh at me.
I'm Charles. I am CS Guide in all those places.
Okay. You're on Periscope now?
I have an account.
He does have an account because he followed me.
Well, and it's tied to my Twitter. Like when you sign up for it, it ties to your Twitter, and so they end up being the same username. True.
What are my ups and downs this week? My biggest peaks and pitfalls, that's what I call them. Peak. Ravenclaw won the Harry Potter Knit and Crochet House Cup by like 20,000 points. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's only a little tiny exaggeration. So as a firstie, to get to play with a team that fought so hard for a win and got such a huge win was fun. I have set under the sorting hat again already, and I have asked to be in Ravenclaw again. I hope. And my other peak was that I played with Periscope this week, and I had a really good time. I will probably do some Periscopes while I'm spinning, because why not? And maybe some while we're cooking, and we thought we might Periscope some of our board games as we played. So if you're interested in any of that, let me know on the episode 51 thread on Ravelry. Mountain of Conquered Things. I have my Primrose Fiber finished. I just skeined it up this morning, so it's not soaked yet. Look at these colors. How amazingly gorgeous is that? So, whoever won the 10th prize of the day, it spins up gorgeous. And this is 380 some odd, 88, 82 yards. So if I wanted to make socks, now it's only a 2-ply, so it wouldn't be great for socks, but I usually wear my hand knit socks to sit on the couch and read and look pretty in, so it would be perfect for that. I don't know if it'll become socks or not, but I have that option because I have enough yardage. So, what is climbing the mountain? I am spinning up my Quest Fiber on Targi. This is this has been a work in progress for a while. I got distracted by all the shinies, and then for House Cup, this is the only drawback for House Cup. Only projects that you do in the whole month count. So things that I've already started but didn't finish in the month before, I tend not to try and finish because they don't count. That's awful. So I'm using this. They do count for detention, but I do detention every month, but it's not the same. So this is what I'm working on. I'm sorry, I just keep covering you right up. Let me cover my own face up. If I cover my own face up, I can't talk. I can talk. You can't hear me. So that's what I'm working on this week. I am knitting a scarf. It is in the same pattern that I've done a zillion washcloths in, and my big wrap that I showed you last week was in this same pattern. So I have it kind of tied up so that it doesn't, so it's easier to flip around when I switch sides. But that's the back side. This is the front side. It's a Christmas gift. I think it's going to be very festive and pretty and lovely. So this is what the ball of yarn looks like. I picked it up at Michael's. I have no idea what it was. I'm sorry. I would say show notes, but we all know at this point show notes are a complete and total joke. It's going to be one of my New Year's resolutions again. Probably every year for the rest of my life. And then I've got some other things climbing the mountain that I can show you after the holidays are over. What is in base camp this week? Holiday knitting. is in base camp. But also, I am plotting for Harry Potter Knit and Crochet House Cup this week. And I would show you this next week, but I will probably be in Lubbock when I podcast. I'm not hauling all the yarn I've got in this pile.
What do you want? These?
That's fine. No,
No. This one?
no, those two. The engineer wanted some time traveler socks. So I've got this for the feet and legs, and this for the heels and toes and cuffs. So that will be sometime in the new year. My sister ordered this gorgeous Twist Fiber Studios. It will be socks for her in the new year. And this is some awesome handspun I did earlier in the year. It's muskox and moon rover fibers. And I've got this that my family brought me from Croatia when they were there. And I'm going to use all of these together to make a harvest scarf. That pattern is on Fat Cat Knit's free pattern section of her shop. So I'm going to use those for that. Sometime in the new year, I don't know what order. I'm just plotting and planning. I'm sure it will have to do with what fits which class prop for Harry Potter Ninja Crochet House Cup, because I am a sucker for internet badges.
You got them all.
I got them all. Just almost everything that you can earn, I got. It was pretty cool. Ducks in a row. We're going to bring back all the old segments. Of course, on the shortest episode ever, I decided I'm going to bring back all the segments. The only real duck in a row I have for this week is plotting for next year. I am figuring out how I'm going to do my calendar, how I'm going to organize my everything. So I am just really getting everything reset for the new year. So I'm sure I'll have more to talk about that in the new year. Do we see a theme here? Lots to talk about in the new year. Carving out time. I am making time during the holiday season to work on my journal and my art a little bit. Now, when I say art, I really mean scrapbooking, because all of my journals look like scrapbook pages. I don't draw or do real art. Like, when you think of like a really nice art journal where people have drawn beautiful portraits or landscapes and all this gorgeous stuff, I just make collages of everything I own, but I have a lot of fun doing it. So I'm going to be working on that. And I've been doing this off and on, but I was really inspired by watching the Knitworthy podcast. I love them, and it is Brianne and Mama Linda makes the most amazing art journals ever in the whole world. So I wanted to kind of be a part of that. And this is, when you're looking for them, brilliant podcast. I love them so much. This is what their little logo looks like. So Knitworthy podcast, art journaling, carving out time. I'm also carving out time to catch up on the 63 podcasts I'm behind. It is 52 hours worth of podcasts. So that's what I'm doing. For a media break this week. Do you know Breaking Cat News? I love Breaking Cat News so much. This is a webcomic, and it is done by Georgia Dunn. Breaking Cat News. And they are based on her three cats, Puck and Elvis and Lupin. And it is not so far in that you couldn't go back to the very beginning and catch all the way up, which is what I would highly recommend. If you have cats or love cats, I think she's hilarious and sweet and poignant and funny. She in the comics is the woman, and her husband is the man. And it is the cats doing news reports about goings on inside and outside the house. And as the comic has grown and gotten older, they have added more characters, neighborhood cats and the ceiling cats that live upstairs. And there are robber mice that are adorable. And I won't spoil all the secrets and surprises, but...
Yeah, she posts Monday and Thursday every week. And she's been doing it for not quite 2 years. So,
and they're not...
many strips.
Yeah, it's not like you have to sit down and read. I think I sat down and read them all in an afternoon just to catch up.
Yeah. You can...
But she also has a Twitch channel. I think she's Georgia Dunn over there.
Yes.
And so sometimes she'll draw, like when she updated all their portraits on the About Meet Our Reporters page, she did all of that live on Twitch, which was really fun to watch. She's done some drawing lessons. So, and they have a toddler and a baby, and they make regular appearances in the strips. And so they are awesome. She runs series a lot of times during holidays, and this series is Pucky. This is Puck. He's the little black cat. Pucky's Perfect Christmas Tips. And not only are they hilarious, but there is a nefarious plot line going on that...
Yes. And there was a holiday special last year, which was much more of the tugging your heartstrings, crisis.
Yes.
Crisis with resolution, holiday happiness.
But it was wonderful.
Yes.
So that's when I really got hooked. I'd read it a few times before. I got hooked during the holidays last year. So I think that is all of the regular early in the show stuff. Let's move on to the giveaways. 10 giveaways. I told you we were going to do all the catching up this week, and we are. First, October's #Fiber and Dice giveaway. If there's any of this you're interested in, check out the group. There's so much information. There's way too much information to spew it all out in a tiny epic podcast. So I will let you go to the Ravelry group and look that up, because we still have a few more weeks of the #Fiber and Dice giveaway. It will run till the end of the year. There'll be a December winner, and then there will be an end of the year winner. One end of the year winner for that. Yeah. So, and that is handspun. I will spin you something out of my stash. So, October is Distortion, who was playing Carcassonne. So the price for that is a Ravelry pattern of $6 or less, I think is what I've said. Yeah. If you look back on a previous podcast and I said 7, then I will give you 7 too, but I think it's 6. So PM me the pattern that you want me to send you, and I will gift it to you on Ravelry. For November, it was Candy Skane playing a game that I have never heard of before. Yeah. I think it's Malifaux.
Interesting.
Yes, I'm very curious. I'm going to have to go look it up. It is, I don't want to sound smug, but it is very rare that games go through my feed that I do not know about. We own probably a couple hundred of them by this point, and we watch 150. Do you not think it's a couple hundred?
Well, between us and your sister.
Oh, between us and my sister, definitely a couple hundred. And we do all of the Board Game Geek stuff, and we listen to board game podcasts. We'll talk about those in the new year too. Yeah. That'll be a media break. Board game podcasts. So when I see something that I've never seen or heard of before, I get really excited because it makes me want to go and check it out and see what it is all about. I saw 2. I think 2 went through my feed this week. So I will be nosing around about that. So that is one set of prizes. That's the first 2 prizes. The next 6 prizes are for the Yarn Along with Fat Cat Knits. And so I ended up, pretty much everyone who participated got a prize between what Fat Cat Knits donated and what I wanted to do for everybody. Oh, I'm going to need that. Would you get that open?
Yeah.
So I am giving away 4 finished object prizes and 2 chatter prizes. So the 4 finished object prizes are Holly CJ, Christine, Jules R. Maker, and Moonrover. And I will be sending you a skein of Fat Cat Knits London Fog on variegated BFL. It was one of my very first spins, and I loved it. And I've got 2 pounds of it coming in, so half of that will go out to you guys. So I do not have it in yet. I put in a huge order. I put in like a 5-pound order with her. So she's working on it. And as soon as it gets here, probably in the new year, I will send all those out to you. So if you want a pattern, PM me on Ravelry with what pattern you would like. If you won fiber, PM me, tell me that you heard that you won, and give me your shipping address. If you are one of the 2 people that won for the chatter thread, you are Fitsit and Farmagurumi, and I will be sending you coupon codes for Fat Cat Knit Shop. So PM me that you heard that you won. In fact, Fitsit already has, because I mentioned her last week. And so I will get that code to you for you to use towards a purchase from the shop. So I'm very excited about that. Now, the other 2 giveaways, and these I'm giving away on time. Yay! One is, these were both donated by Moonrover Yarns. And the first one was the Letters to Santa game. We had entries, you can hold it, all right, 1 through 14, and that was won by Selena Mom 23, Moonrover, different. So she was number 4. So if you will PM me your address, I will get this in the mail to you as soon as I have your address. It will go out that day or the next day. And so excited about this. This is the Primrose. Right? Yes. And if you'll flip it over, we can see the colors.
Oh, yeah.
Which spun up into this beauty. You want me to unwind it real quick and let you see all the colors? It's springy. It's springy. I warn you ahead of time. It's springy, but it hasn't been soaked.
Bathed yet. Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't had a bath, so it makes these gorgeous colors. And the winner of that was numbers 2 through 17. A random number generator picked number 17, who is Trisha, that hooker chick. So I think both of those people were new to the group for this giveaway, which I thought was kind of exciting. It was fun to have some new people hop over and join us and visit. So welcome to the group. I am glad that you're a part of our group, and I'm glad that you won something. So email me, or no, don't email me. I'm horrible at email. PM me on Ravelry your address, and I will get that in the mail to you as well, Trisha. So, Gamerly News. Tiny Epic Gamerly News. First, I told you we were going to play Carnivore Koala last week. We did. We loved it. It is so fun. So fun. So that will be the game of the week next week. This week, I will stick to my word, and our game of the week will be... it's a series of 3 games. Tiny Epic. Yes. Tiny Epic Kingdoms, Defenders, and Galaxies. Yep. I thought we'd played this one. We haven't, so I can't speak to it. And I know I've talked about Tiny Epic Kingdoms a little more in the past, so we will really focus on Tiny Epic Defenders today. These are Gamelyn games. Developed by Scott Owens. Yep. Who also did Best Treehouse Ever that we covered last week. So. And there's a Western-themed... These are all different games, different playstyles. There's a Western one that will hit Kickstarter in January. And I will let you know when it goes live. But Tiny Epic Defenders. And when they say Tiny Epic, they mean Tiny Epic. There is so much gameplay crammed into this box. It is for 1 to 4 players, about 30 minutes, ages 14 up. And I would say that's pretty stinking accurate because there are a lot of components to this game. Yeah. And this one is cooperative. This one is cooperative. The other ones are not. They're competitive. Game book. Okay, if you want to talk, I will hold up pieces. Okay. In this one, you are all... In fact, this one follows storyline from Tiny Epic Kingdoms, where we're all orcs and elves and wizards and goblins and fighting each other for control of the area. And so that's kind of left everything weak, and now it's the survivors of all those wars getting together to defend what's left of the kingdoms from giant evil monsters, which is why you're cooperative, but you'll see some of the same characters and races. So everybody gets their own character card. And we got the deluxe version, which has the Gamelyn mascot and some other special cards in here. But there's, again, a lot of the same fantasy character types, and there's rangers and paladins and wizards. And so everybody's got their own special ability and bonuses. So there will be the home city, the capital city that you're trying to defend. And then there's a bunch of outlying regions around it. There's a desert and woods, and they all have different aspects to them. But as you're going through the game, there is a deck, and it's got enemies and your character turn cards in it. And so you shuffle them all together, and then you turn over the first card, so you don't know if it's going to be an enemy first, or if it's going to... There you go. Enemies or a player, so you don't know what the turnover is going to be. You just know something's going to happen. So that's a player card. And so when it's your turn, you're kind of defending areas and reducing their threat, or getting healed, or fighting monsters. So if I flip over this card for my turn, then on my turn, the enemy plays. And I'm going to do 1, this is like the damage track. Yep. I'm going to do 1 damage to the mountains and 1 damage to the coast. Yeah. I think it's called coast. I think it's coast. There are some ways to block that, some things you can do. Yep. And eventually, you go through the deck enough times, then the big bad monster comes out. I'm trying to remember what they called it. I should have looked at that beforehand. Epic foe. Yes. And so there's only 1 of these for each game. There's, I think, 10 that come in the box. So there's, again, a lot of cards in this box. So he comes out, and he's going to do something really bad. And once you defeat him, then you've won the game. And if not, then he has destroyed the capital city, and you've all lost. So, it's a intense co-op. I have to say, I was a little mad. I don't think a box this small should be as hard as this game was. And we play on beginner.
Yeah.
And I still found it really challenging. Now, it's new mechanics. But it was hard, but good hard. It was hard. I want to go back in. Sometimes games are so frustratingly hard, you don't care if you ever play again. This game was really hard and a little bit frustrating, but I want to go back and beat it. So that speaks very, very highly of it to me.
Yep.
So you've got meeples, you've got hearts, you've got little
flame tokens.
Wooden flame damage counters. So I have to say it is a pretty cool little game. Lots of different mechanics that work together really well. They've really thought it through very well. And it's one of those games that it starts out and I thought, oh, this is going to be so easy. Maybe that's why I was so frustrated, because I thought it was going to be easy. The first couple times we turned over cards, I was like, oh, we've got this. And then by the end of the game, I'm like, there are enemies on all sides. We are going to die. And we almost did. It was really close. We finally just threw everything in on the last turn, and we were either going to win on that turn or there was going to be no coming back. And we just happened to win. I think it was just luck of the draw that we won that time. So I highly recommend the Tiny Epic games.
Yes.
They are easy.
And I think we got all these on Kickstarter. They're all now available at your friendly local game store or on Amazon or kind of anywhere you buy.
I was trying to think if we'd seen them at Barnes & Noble.
I don't think I've seen them at Barnes & Noble.
I don't think we've seen them at Barnes & Noble, but we have seen them at the game shops.
Yep.
So Tiny Epic episode, Tiny Epic games, epic giveaways.
Sorry.
Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. I will see you again. I'm hoping to film on Christmas Day. So I will see you then. Bye.
Bye.